Let's get started. We have Lee Renfroe from GoFroe today
What's
on
going
a
on?
Saturday. What's up, man? How you
Man,
doing?
living the dream, man. Living the dream, talking to you.
Yeah, I love it. This is good because you're at your office right now. Is that correct?
Yeah. I was doing some paperwork today. We've been so busy lately, I have not had time to do correct paperwork. So today has been the day to whip it.
Yeah, I love it. And then I'm looking at your video, and you were talking about how you have like all these windows. I'm kind of
Yeah,
jealous
yeah,
because you have like you're just windows right in front of
yeah.
you.
The front of our office, I mean, it's literally like three panes of glass that are like 10 by 10. And then, of course,
Yeah.
the glass doors. So there's a lot of light that comes in.
Yeah. So you've been kind of checking stuff out on LinkedIn. You've seen Low Voltage Nation. I guess you've just been kind of just loving what we're doing, perhaps.
Yeah, I kind of just in awe in the background. I've been watching a couple of podcasts, been seeing how the other people interact and how y'all push things on LinkedIn. And I like the tool thing. So you'll do like a little demo of a tool, and then
Yeah.
people comment on it, and then you actually show pictures of people's work, and it's pretty cool. So just kind of you're building just a group of people that can rely on each other when we need advice. Looks like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm glad you reached out. I posted something about getting on a podcast. You said, let's do it. So here we are.
Yeah,
And then I don't know if you got a chance to listen to the one with David, because you
yeah,
said that you've had experience with him before.
yeah.
And yeah,
I did
so
listen to that. That was the Chatsworth one. Yeah, Dave's one of my mentors from the Bixie world.
yeah.
He got me roped into being heavily involved, and Dave is an awesome guy. So yeah, we stay in touch, and he does good things. So Chatsworth is a really good company, and their products are really
Yes. I love Chatsworth
cool.
just as a company. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
products are top notch, but they're such a cool
yeah,
company. I've been getting to know them over the past month or so since they joined. So it's been
yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so tell me more about, I don't really know much about you, but tell me like how you got started in the industry and like what you're doing now with your company.
So, I mean, I started in high school going to a technical school in telecommunications, and that just kind of opened the door for going to work. When I started, I went to work straight for Bell South, almost like right out of high school as a telephone man, and I stayed there for like 10 years. I did 2 or 3 different technician type jobs, and I've taught at a technical, went back to that technical college and taught for 5 years and did a lot of continuing education. And, so I've got a pretty good background and in low voltage. I still say I'm a telephone man though, because that's where I
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where everything comes from.
Yeah. So now your company, GoFroe, and where are you located exactly?
We are in a little town called Fitzgerald, Georgia. We're like 3 hours south of Atlanta. We're
Oh,
probably like an hour from the Florida line.
okay. Yeah, you're way south. You're way
Yeah,
down
yeah.
south. Yeah. That's cool. So what do you guys do at GoFro? What's your
We,
bread and butter?
Hey, we're everything low voltage. We do a lot of
Yeah.
security work. Obviously, most companies like ours do 50% of our work is security.
Right.
So we do alarm systems, cameras. We do fiber, data cabling, phone systems. We have our own voice over IP cloud-based platform
Okay.
we have our own servers, and we do our own cloud-based management of all that. So we get into small business networking. We do sound masking, we do audio visual, and then I still teach for subcontract companies. I'll go out and teach fiber optics classes, training classes. This year has not been the year for teaching, obviously. There's no face-to-face. So maybe by next year, I'll be able to start that back again, where I can be out teaching a little more about every 8 weeks.
Yeah. So do you prefer the face-to-face training, obviously?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
only as an instructor, but as a student. I'm probably the world's worst student because I like to roam around. I'm the one
Yeah.
that I stand in the back of the class and just stand there because I don't like to sit down, but I like face-to-face instruction.
Yeah, everybody's migrating to the virtual
Yeah,
training and conferences, and there's a big opportunity for online courses. That's something that I'm dabbling into right now.
yeah,
But I totally get, especially with low voltage and learning like hands-on stuff. Because I
exactly.
I have a network engineering background, and you need You need to be hands on.
Yeah, I have to see that you know how to do it, and video can go so far, but there's nothing that beats in person.
Yeah, yeah. So with your alarms, what's your go-to vendor for alarm systems?
Right now, we've been for the past 3 or 4 years, we've been doing a Qualsys, and I don't
Okay.
know if you're familiar with Qualsys, but
Oh yeah.
they were up and coming a few years ago, and now they're just rocking, man. They integrate. They have panels that integrate with a lot of the traditional Honeywells, DSCs, the
Mm-hmm.
GEs, and they have the Power G functionality, which is a wireless platform that just extends the range. It's just incredible range on the wireless. So we love integrating with Qualsys. That's kind of our go-to, unless we're getting into more of a commercial fire panel, then we'll go to somewhere else. But we're really loving the Qualsys.
Yeah, yeah. Most of my background's with Honeywell, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of folks in Low Voltage Nation that use Qualsys. They
yeah,
do a lot of alarm stuff, and been hearing some pretty good things about it.
yeah. I mean, Honeywell's been the bread and butter for like 10 years,
Yeah,
but when I started GoFroe, it was more like, what can we do different than anybody else is doing?
yeah,
And we jumped on Qualsys, and which we still work on a lot of other stuff, but that's our lead. That's our lead manufacturer for the alarms.
yeah. So with your company and running your own business, time management is obviously like
Yeah,
a
yeah. I
pain
mean,
point. I think it's anybody
it
anybody has that
is.
problem.
You have to be everything. I do all that, my own ordering, project management. I have guys that manage themselves, and I
Yeah,
trust them to do the work. But as far as the billing goes, the ordering, processing of everything, I mean, the taxes, all that stuff falls on me. So my 30 or 40 hour work week, then comes the other part of it, which could be another 30 or 40 hours. So it's not uncommon to work 70 or 75 hours.
do you enjoy the back office work and all the accounting stuff and the purchasing stuff?
Saying I enjoy it, it just has to be done. It has to be done. There's no enjoying it, but it's
Yeah,
just something we have to do. I like to see. I like the design part of it and the estimating part of it. That's
yeah.
fun. I always like to do that. But to sit down and have to, enter stuff into QuickBooks and all that. Nah, that would be. But
I'm so bad at that. I know how to do it to a certain extent, but it's just like I'm like you. I like doing stuff in like Bluebeam and AutoCAD and like working
yeah,
with all the
yeah,
devices and laying, doing design work. And
yeah,
that's where I love spending my
yeah.
time.
That's the fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So you do some field work as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
another way.
I say I'm in the field, every day, just because uh, the tech support part of it and the install part of it. We're not a huge company. There's 5 of us, and we all kind of have our specialty, and we all, there's a couple of us that are the jack of all trades that we can figure anything out almost. But I still have to be involved. I didn't start this company to sit back in the office and not see my customers.
Yeah.
So I want to go see the customers, and I want to talk to them, and I want to let them know what's going on. So yeah, I'm very hands-on.
Yeah. So with the drill that fell on your head, like walk
Oh,
me
man.
through
Oh yeah. So
walk me through the event just real briefly. I want to hear about
what
it.
we were doing there, me and one of the other guys were working, and he was focusing on the camera installation, and I was focusing on the access control. And he was mounting the camera above a door, and I was working on the card reader for that door. And he stepped away to the truck for just a minute, and I was like, I'm gonna move his ladder out of the way just so I can go ahead and wire this reader up. So when I went to move the ladder, he had left the drill on top of the ladder, and it had a Phillips head bit in it, 10 foot. And as soon as I moved it, it
10
came
foot.
down, and the point of it hit me right in the head. And so I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. I'm on a conference call with Bixie. So I'm walking around like this with a wet paper towel. And I'm just, every 10 minutes, I'll go change out the paper towel and get a new one just to keep the blood down. And it's funny now, but I should have probably went and got some stitches, but I didn't.
You didn't get stitches? Wow.
No, I didn't go. We didn't have time that day.
There's always time for safety and getting
Yeah,
stitches.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that goes to say, and ain't really his fault because you're not supposed to leave tools on ladders.
No, absolutely not.
I didn't tell him I was going to move the ladder though, so
Yeah,
he knew he was coming right back. So it definitely was my fault.
Nah, never leave tools on the ladder. I mean, even the holes that they have for the tools, that it keeps it stable, but still don't do that.
Yeah. That's live and learn.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned Bixie quite a bit. So that's helped you in your career. You're pretty plugged in with that community. Talk to me about Bixie.
About 10 years ago, when I was an instructor at the technical college, we get magazines. Flipping through a magazine, I see an ad, Installer of the Year competition going on. I said, I want to do that. I want to win that competition. And so I applied, I got in, and the first year I didn't win. And so the next year I come back, well, it may have been my second or third year. Anyway, I wound up winning Installer of the Year 2 years in a row.
No kidding.
On that, I built a relationship with the people there. And after I became a judge, after a couple of years, I went back and started judging. So I've been involved with the Cabling Skill Challenge now for like probably 11 years as a judge. And just being involved with that, about 2 years ago, I decided to run for Southeast Regional Director. And I was able to take that and get that position. For the past 2 years, I've been the Bixie Southeast Regional Director. And that's just opened up a lot of doors, just, worldwide. I have a lot of contacts in Puerto Rico or in Japan or wherever. So just the people, the resources that you have, when you need help or you need advice or you need to get something, who to reach out to.
Yeah. So I'm like in the presence of greatness. Like you're two-time winner of Installer of the Year.
I'm looking at you like that, man. I'm like, man, this is cool.
The reason I interview people is because I want to learn from folks like you, man. I'm just like, I've only got a handful of years of experience. Like you guys are like way up here. So I consider me starting in this industry when I was 18, and I'll be 42 in about 3 weeks. So I'm kind of moving on up a little bit. I still feel young, but the years are tacking on fairly quickly. Yeah. Yeah, that field work will do it to you.
It will, yeah. So, you have a little elbow issues or back issues and things like that. But
you're wearing a knee brace for too long, if not already. Yeah. Okay. So check this out. So everyday carry, not a firearm. That's what people think. It's always like the firearm.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, it's a tool. So you mentioned snips, and what was the other one?
You got to have electrical tape. If it's either you or the person you're working with, if you don't have black tape on you, we can't get the job done.
Yeah.
If you're pulling cable or fishing conduit or anything, going installing cable above ceiling, you got to have black tape. It's got to be somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a cup holder in my truck right now.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I got it all in my tool bag and everything. But it's on the list too. We have a list for greenhorns. So if we need to get somebody up to speed quickly, like do like some mentorship or get to somebody just on staff real quick, we have like the LVN kind of gold standard. This is when you need to get the job done, and tape is definitely on there for sure.
Oh, yeah, you got to have that and a good pair of snips. And you got to know how to learn. You got to learn how to use the snips. So when I was teaching, when you have new people, they want to say scissors and they want to say there's certain things. We're kind of a male-oriented industry, although there's a lot of hardworking females. But there's some things like you have to say snips. We don't say scissors because we're not sewing, right? So we got snips. Yeah. And then on color code, there is no purple. We use violet because that sounds a little manlier. So use violet and slate, not purple and gray.
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's funny. Yeah, with what snips do you use? Use the Klein tools?
Hold on a second.
I'm sure you got them right there with you.
This is a pair of Heritage.
Heritage, okay.
Yeah, so the reason I like them is they have actually the handle, for gripping it a little better. But this is actually, it's not like smooth. It's kind of textured, so it don't it won't slip in your hand a lot. So Heritage is kind of about my past 2 years. This has kind of been my go-to.
So check those out.
Yeah.
It looks like the palm piece is like a little bit bigger than the Kleins. Is that
it
the
is,
Klein tools? Yeah.
The actual plastic is thinner. So
okay.
on the Klein ones, the plastic is kind of thick, but this is just more form fitted, I guess. And it has a texture on it so that it's kind of slip proof. So
cool.
I
love it. Yeah. Okay. So productivity tools. What are you using in your back office? What you got going on?
You know, we keep up with a lot of service tickets, obviously, from day to day. We use Iceworks, which is like an IT software. It's cloud-based, so it's got a mobile app with it. So when we have a service ticket come in, I can log in there and I can assign it to a certain technician, and he can update it, put what materials he wants on there, and I can get that at the end of the day or the end of the week, and I can bill accordingly. So the Spiceworks works really good for our service tickets day to day. And then we use Google Docs. We have a lot of documents built out for passwords, customer data, and project information, IP addresses, and everything. So when we go on site, you can just hit that folder and you can look at everything that's about that customer, like camera passwords, MBR passwords, contacts, and everything's just there on Google Docs. So it's really smooth because everybody has that on their phone.
Yeah. It's really convenient. Yeah, Spiceworks. Have you found that you can just use the free version? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what we do. And we use kind of we don't go in and build like all the material and the dollar amount.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I do all that here at the office. So, if we had a separate person doing our billing, then yes, I would probably do that. But since I know how much everything costs, then it doesn't matter. As long as they put what they use, then I can get it from there.
Yeah, and then QuickBooks. Are you using QuickBooks?
Yeah, we use QuickBooks.
Are you using the cloud version or the on-prem version?
We just changed over to using the cloud version. I've just never been a big QuickBooks fan. Just because of the multi-user and the single-user thing.
Exactly.
We would always go, and people would always have problems with it. So it took me a long time to kind of get on board with it. But it has its place. It works pretty good.
Yeah. So with the on-prem version, there's always like kind of a running joke when like they do a new update, you got to like update the company file and then it's on a computer over here and it's just a mess. So I just tell people use the cloud version.
Yeah. And so in our voice over IP platform, there's actually a billing element already built into that. So when we build a customer and we sell them something, it automatically handles the billing, which is awesome. So
that's really cool.
Automatically tracks it. It automatically sends the emails. It automatically does everything inside of that platform. So that's really cool. Yeah.
So you do a lot of VoIP installs.
Yeah, we do a lot of VoIP installs. We do the SIP trunking. We can do the hosted. We can do regular appliances and stuff like that. So like I said, me being traditionally a phone man, I'll always want to do phones in some form or fashion.
Yeah, it's a good money maker too because of the monthly recurring. I'm sure you get a lot of
and that's really the key to somebody wanting to get into this industry is finding a way to do something one time and make money on it over and over.
Exactly.
So that comes with alarm systems. That comes with cloud-based phones, maintenance contracts, service contracts and things like that. So you want to be able to sell something that you can service, obviously, but you want to make money on it over and over again. And that's really what keeps and sustains your business.
Yeah. That's why if you're just a structured cabling company, you're going to, it's like every month you're like, okay, find another project.
So where we're in a rural area, right? You have to do a lot of different platforms, because we're going to be slow on phones. We're going to be doing cameras, and we're slow on cameras. We're going to be doing cabling. So it helps to have all those facets because in our area, you can't survive on one thing. Yeah,
for sure. So that's actually good advice. And then you mentioned another good piece of advice was distributors, how that can make or break you. So
you're finding the right distributors for something is key. And I've got some that I've been working with for 10 or 15 years. And I find a lot of times the smaller the distributor, the better you can get pricing. And that seems weird, but the better they'll take care of you a lot of times, the smaller the distributor. And we've got some really jam up distributors. And I hold that information to heart. But when I find friends and I get friends in the industry, like through Bixie, and I have a really good friend in Cleveland. And me and him, we trade information all the time. Hey, what are you using for this? I get it from here. You know, you call this guy, he'll take care of you, type of a thing. And that's huge in this industry, to have people that are really not competitors, but that you can depend on for information.
Yeah. That's kind of what we're doing at LVN, at Low Voltage Nation. Just trying to get all the good resources that we have and kind of bring everybody together and figure out how to do stuff the best and get it, the best price and service.
And that's what makes the world go round. I don't believe in the competitor type of atmosphere. Everybody's good at what they do. There's things that I'll sub out in a heartbeat because it's not in our forte, And,
sure.
And so the same way, they'll call us when they want something done. So.
Right on. Yep. So with your stuff online, it's like LinkedIn's a big platform for you. Is that the best place to find you?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook. I've kind of started a YouTube channel. I don't know if I've published it yet, but
really?
We're definitely on LinkedIn and Facebook. And there's also a new platform. I don't know if you're familiar with it yet. It's just come out in the past few months. It's called VinSearch. I don't know if you've seen that out there yet or not.
VinSearch?
Yeah. You need to look that up. And,
how do you spell it?
VenSearch.
VinSearch. What is it?
We'll talk about that on another podcast, but that's it's a cool platform for bringing together more of the construction industry as a whole, not just, but they have a platform out there, and they're going to be doing a lot of growth in the where somebody can go, and you need to put the compliance type stuff, basically your 1099s and insurance. They're going to have a whole back end platform just for compliance. And that's huge for people that need to pull that information all the time. So
that is huge.
You'll see that they're trying to do basically create a network of people to feed off each other and to get information quickly to people. So
cool. Why is it called VenSearch?
I never asked Wade where the name come from, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure. He'll have to answer that, I guess.
Yeah, I'll look it up and find out. That's interesting, though. Appreciate that. So your YouTube channel, do you have any videos on it, or like what's the purpose of it?
Look, I've just to have a way to post stuff out there.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of stuff on there right now. Probably, I'd have to even go in. I don't even know if it's active for public yet. I'd have to check that out. Basically, the plan was to use that, obviously for marketing, doing customer interviews as we interview customers, to be able to upload those.
Exactly. Yeah.
And things like that.
Cool. Yeah. We're ramping up our YouTube channel. So if you ever want to contribute or get on a YouTube, I don't know, this will be on YouTube. So here you are.
That's right.
Yeah.
What do you see as the difference in using like taking something straight to YouTube versus taking it straight to LinkedIn?
Yeah. So, you can only do 10 minutes on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. So I do all the long form stuff on YouTube. Yeah. And then LinkedIn is a lot easier for organic reach. I can get a lot more reach with videos on LinkedIn. It's been like the tool videos that you mentioned that I've been doing. Those have been getting a lot of good feedback, and like real good feedback where I'm getting like DMs, like LinkedIn DMs, and then people will call me, leave some good comments. But with YouTube, it's just so saturated. It's such a mature video platform that it's just like everybody's on it. I have like 130 videos on our YouTube, and like most of them are not like good. I think the most views I've had are like 200 on one video, but they average about like 15 views per video. It takes a long time, so it's not but I just use it just as a repository to put stuff, if I ever need to share it on like an embedded thing like on a website or something. So but I'm going to get bigger into it probably this, next year, hopefully.
Yeah. You need to get into, if you've never been to, this year's obviously wasn't the year to do it, but once we start going person to person trade shows again, you need to, there's a few you need to hit up, man. And definitely the Big C, the security ones as is, and like that you need to hit. And there's some smaller ones, I think, like GSX,
CEDIA.
Yeah, CEDIA. Those are some good ones to be involved with.
Yeah, then ISC West and East.
ISC West and East, yeah.
Good. So yeah, I'll probably be at all those. I'm going to try and get like a booth and do like podcast, like live events and stuff. It'll be good.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's on the roadmap. Just not sure when.
Yeah, you got to get there. Yeah, it's got to start back up again.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, is there anything you wanted to chat about or plug or mention?
Yeah, I mean, people, they can find us. My biggest thing is I love to troubleshoot. If you have problems, even if you're a company out there and you don't trust your troubleshooting skills as far as fiber or networking or access control, I love to troubleshoot. Just throw something at me, test me, call me about something. It's so satisfying, to troubleshoot something from 1,000 miles away and almost be dead on about it.
If
I go out and teach, as if I'm teaching somewhere and my guys are texting me, oh, we got a problem, this is happening or this is going on. And I'll say, I'll call you at lunch. I'll call you on break. And to be able to nail down on something like that from so far away, it's real satisfying. And I'll tell you, when you look back, working on a traditional phone line, regular analog dial tone, working on that cable plant, I didn't really realize it for years, but you're basically working on a huge series parallel circuit, because that dial tone goes all different directions. And you're building out cable pairs, twisted cable pairs, and that all turns out to be one huge series parallel circuit. And all that in the low voltage world turns into DC power, turns into AC power, turns into normally open, normally closed. And before you realize it, I'm thinking back, wait a minute, I did this in the phone world, and it took a long time for that to click. So all that being said, when you're testing Cat6 cable with a DTX, when you're testing with an OTDR, when you're doing power meter and light source, all that in my mind ties back to dial tone. And that background, that's why I love the troubleshoot.
Yeah. So if you ever want to troubleshoot in the Slack workspace, the LVN Slack workspace, you should join. There's people. That's all we do all day long is troubleshooting people in the field.
And that's what I need to do. I think I got an email from when I joined. They sent me. That's what I got to register for and get involved with.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your Saturday. Don't get too wet in the rain. There's a big storm coming up.
It's done quit here. So on my agenda tonight is what am I going to cook? So that's a whole nother podcast I need to start, I think.
Soup. You're going to cook soup. No soup? Soup is easy. Steak and potatoes. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, Lee. It was good talking to you, man. Good meeting you. And we'll be in touch soon. All right.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yep. Take care. Bye.